Meow.
Hello YouTubers and random Doctor Who fans, it's me, Ozzy, one part of the More Spring YouTube channel, and today we're going to be looking at the second Doctor and electronic Tardis from the Abominable Snowmen. So I just thought with this review I'd change things up a little bit, so we've got a multicam setup, we've got camera A, camera B, and camera C. So just every review is going to be the same of this thing, so I thought I'll just try and shake it up a little bit and add my kind of stamp to this particular product. So let's start off by taking a look at the packaging. The front contains the Doctor Who logo, along with a nice window box display, electronic. We've got the title of the set, and we also have the Character Online exclusive badge there, 5+, and a Character Options logo. Now, it's really cool how they displayed this. They've done it so the TARDIS is tilted slightly, so it looks like it's on a mountain kind of thing, which is really neat for people who want to keep it in the box. So taking a look at the left-hand side, we've got the Doctor Who logo, we've got a piece of TARDIS art, which I do like, but it's the modern TARDIS, so it's a bit out of place, but never mind. Then we've also got the name of the set at the bottom, which is cool, and pretty much the same on the other side, except it has Character Options Online exclusive. There you go, I had to check to see what was different. Then we've got the back of the box with the title and the name of the set, with a short, well, and quite a long bio, let's face it, of the story, and we've got pictures of the products in question. I do really miss the days when we actually had screen grabs from the episode and publicity images instead, because, I don't know, I find a picture of the product a little bit redundant, but I guess it's kind of good for you, a consumer to compare it to in case they've got anything wrong with their action figure, so I can let them get away with that. Then on the bottom we've got our typical legal shine boing gang ging gong gong gong. I'm not copying vote Saxon, you are. So let's shut up and let's take this thing out of the box, shall we? So gonna need a knife because there's 3 stickers at the top. You don't see this kind of thing on any other Doctor Who channel, really. Telling you what to expect when it comes to packaging. How sad's that? Then we just lift it up. Oh, we got like a little an instruction manual thing, which is pretty cool. Been a long time since we've had one of those, so save that for later. Right, let's take this bad boy out of its box. Oh yeah, there are screws at the bottom, but there's zip ties on the back, which just cut with a knife. Watch, I'll spill that. Vendetta! Vendetta! There we go, just watch everything fall to the ground now. So, removing the troughton, fairly simple I would have thought. Pulling the zip ties. There you go, got our troughton. So we'll put him to the side while we take the TARDIS out of the box. Now, I've always hated these things they've got on the door, these plastic things. They always really annoy me because I've almost broken my TARDISes undoing those, but taking the screws off the bottom. Alright, chuck those on the floor. So yeah, this, which pretty cool, nice little kind of photo. And the thing is, the things that they add in, like the Yeti and the tower and the Reston Warrior robot, wherever that is in the background, they always look like they are very added in. They don't really blend well into the background, but it's one of those things, doesn't really matter, because when you have it in the box you don't really see these things, so who cares? Right, and as I was saying, these things are an absolute bugger. I really hate them. I really don't understand why they do it. Yeah, you got to open the door first, then pull it through, but it's one of those things, it's not clear to do that really. So setting this aside for a minute, let's take a look at the second Doctor. Now, first impressions right off the bat, it looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at the articulation first. You all know the standard really, left to right with the head. Oh, I thought that the arms were on a ball joint. Turns out not. That's a bit of a letdown, because it really looked like it should have been on a ball joint. It kind of feels very flimsy as well. I'm just going to be honest in this review, guys. If there's something, a flaw, I will point it out, but at the same time there is quite a lot of work to be commended here as well. So yeah, articulation at the biceps, but honestly I'm kind of scared that that's going to snap and come loose. The elbow does a 90 as well. The wrists, yeah, they kind probably can't do a 360. Waist, yeah, the waist turns around, the legs move, the thighs 360 as well, a knee 90 and no foot articulation, something which would be cool on character options figures, like a 45-degree foot thing. That would be really nice, but we're not going to get that. So let's have a look at the actual detail of this figure. I just need a minute to take it in. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, from the publicity images, the browns kind of looked very jarring and kind of I was a bit thrown off if you saw my initial reaction, but having it in hand, the brown actually works pretty well. There's some lighter brown dry brushed on top of the darker brown just to make it look a bit more realistic, so I'm glad that they've done that. Yeah, the whole thing kind of done in the brown, and the very light brown has kind of been washed over the top. It's not been dry brushed, which is an interesting choice. But I didn't know that the coat from the Abominable Snowmen was different from the 5 Doctors version. It does actually look like this. There are different shades of brown, which really took me by surprise, to be honest. I'll let you see that in a thing now. But yeah, overall for detail, it's pretty damn good. The sculpt is really good, and it's got the lace around the mid section. But yeah, the shirt has been done in quite a nice shade of blue. It's kind of different from all the other blues we've had, and it does actually work pretty well. And it's got his little bow tie, quite well painted, very well painted in fact. Moving on to the head, that's really well painted as well. I'm really surprised because a lot of the face jobs we've been getting recently in the B&M sets have been pretty bad, but this one really does look good, which I'm very happy about. A slight dry brushing of grey in the hair, the red around the eyes, the blue eyes are very sharp, and yeah, it's pretty much identical to the, from memory at least, to the first Patrick Troughton release, which is good, because that was when character options were on their A game. So turning around the back, you can see more of that detailing, which is very nice. It does actually make it look like it has depth now that I have it in person. It is quite good. The only problem is when you move the elbows, you can see that the plastic, the raw plastic, can be exposed, which is annoying, but there's not much you can do about that because you can't really paint under the elbows because it'll just scratch off anyway. Just don't look at it from behind and then you'll be alright. It kind of sets me in the mind of like a Chewbacca figure from the late 70s, which is quite funny. Yeah, the hands are also in the clutched pose, much like the War Doctor figure, which is, it's kind of cool. It would be quite nice to have like just an open palmed kind of thing, just a standard hand thing. I kind of wish that they would do that. I actually, with my War Doctor, I did customise that and give him just, I think they were Sylvester McCoy hands or something like that, just so that they're not clenching a fist all the time. But overall, pretty good. The trousers are good as well. They've not been given a grey undercoat, it's casted in a grey plastic, so we do get a bit of a gloss, a bit of a shine, which is a bit of a shame. But the printing's really good, really tight. The shoes are just brown, a standard almost glossy brown. There's not an awful lot of depth to those, there's no mud on them, which is a bit of a shame because character options are always good at weathering things, but for some reason on this they've not given it any weathering. So overall, decent attempt. If I were to give it a mark out of 10, I'd give it a 7. Not perfect by any means, but they've also done a lot worse. The legs really do kind of let it down, which is a bit of a shame. They just kind of look like they should reflect. Okay, so moving on to the box of fun, the second Doctor's Tardis, which is pretty cool. You all know the story behind this, guys. The 60s TARDIS, they put the door on the wrong side for whatever reason, so it looks funny. But honestly, I think it looks kind of cool. I always liked it, and I actually made a custom of this back in the day, which I'll try and put a picture on now if you guys can see it. I don't know whether I've still got it, but yeah, I was kind of skeptical about this thing because the white wash kind of struck me as odd at the beginning, but having it in hand, it's pretty good. It's still got a bit of the sheen which the other classic boxes did, which is quite annoying, but nowhere near as bad as the B&M second Doctor one. That was truly atrocious, but this one looks pretty damn good. The detailing on the signage looks pretty good as well. Nice little bit of weathering there. But speaking of weathering, there isn't any weathering on the windows, so it does look a little bit odd. The police public call box signage as well looks pretty good. It's faded as well. It has a bit of depth, which I do like. The roof, unfortunately, it's still the concaved one. Oh, is it? Or is it fixed? Hang on, I've got a ruler. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's still concave, but it's not as bad as like the first releases of this thing, because I remember that the roofs were really concaved at the beginning. I think they've tried to sort it out. There's no handlebars on the door as well, and there is a gold lock, which looks nice. Yeah, the white weathering really does work. It's just a bit of a shame that it's got a wood paneling texture, because we all know that the classic boxes either had a very faint or just didn't have a wood paneling texture like the new series ones. The base is the retooled one, which looks good, looks much better than the original. Now the top, the new lamp piece, which was on the second Doctor one before, looks okay, but I think the paint's a little bit messy on the top. It's still a little bit shiny as well, but overall the sculpt of it is pretty damn good. Now the LED, it's a little bit of a shame because it's very prominently green, which looks, either that or I'm colourblind, but it genuinely looks green, which is kind of odd. But when we get to the turning on features later, you can see that it turns a yellow colour, so that's not too bad. But yeah, the doors, they open, nothing inside. One day character options will paint the inside black. It's weird because it looks kind of purple on the inside, which is quite strange. And there's a reason to have the battery pack in, because obviously this thing has electronics. So you press the little tab at the bottom, door closes, cool feature, always like that. And obviously you got speaker grills at the back, which is a bit of a shame, but there's not really that much you can do about it, because you're going to see this from the front at all times anyway, so that kind of thing doesn't really bother me too much. So yeah, the TARDIS is pretty damn good in terms of detail. Still got that gloss, which is a bit annoying, but alright, so turning to features, let me get my screwdriver, because I've not actually done this yet. We take the back panel off, so there we go, it takes 3 AAAs. Okay, let's put the batteries in. You all know how to put batteries in things, I don't have to teach you how to do that. Maybe I do, I don't know. Did you go to school? I didn't. I was a hermit. I was nomadic for my entire life. See, the excitement of getting a TARDIS in working order is just getting to me, and it's making me shake, because I'm a very shaky person. Fuck's sake. Come on. You can do it, come on. Alright, turn it on. Let's listen to these sound effects and look at that light. It makes like some sound noises. Sound noises? TARDIS? Sound noise make? Good it is. Me likey. Then lift off. Magic. Yeah, so that's it. When you take it off though, the light still stays on, which is cool. Nice little pulsation. That sounds weird, does that word? Is that even a word? Yeah, it looks good. I like the shade of yellow they've used. It's like a burnt amber kind of shade, which looks a lot better than just a white, especially for a classic TARDIS. Now this is an unpopular opinion, guys. I would quite like to have seen the windows and the police box signage to illuminate. I know that they wouldn't have done that, but I always kind of wanted to see that on a classic TARDIS. Yes, I know they didn't do it back in the day, but it would have just given it a little bit more dimension.
Pun entirely intended.
But yeah, it's pretty decent. You know, I'm never going to use it because I'm a grown man. Well, I say I'm a grown man, but it's not one of those things which I'm going to use. The question I'm going to ask first is, do I think that this is worth $39.99? No. No, I don't. I think it's worth 20 quid, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I know obviously there's going to be comments saying, oh well, they won't be able to afford to do it at 20 quid because it's got the electronics. Fair enough, but I mean, look at the kids section in B&M and how many things have lights and sounds that are $6.99. I do think that is an incredibly steep price point, but then you're going to say, Oscar, but you bought it. Yes, I did buy it because I'm a sucker and I buy everything. No, but I wanted to get the review out to you guys. Yes, it is really nice to finally get this second Doctor variant. It's good. It's good. I wouldn't say it was brilliant, but it certainly fills in the gap. The TARDIS is much better than the previous second Doctor one. Overall, I do like this set, but like I said, I don't think it's worth the price point. So if you miss out on this, I wouldn't really say it's the end of the world. They should have kind of just released this in a single release, if I'm being honest with you, or in a set with Jamie and a Yeti. I do think this is kind of it's a nice set, but I wouldn't say that it was worth all the hype and worth $39.99. But at least they're not two bad figures. At least they're two good figures. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know down below what you think of this set. I'll see you in the next one.